Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the FatmanStephens podcast. Of course, I am Marcus, FatmanStephens. Hello. Hoping everybody's having another good week, excuse me. We're still in August, middle of August. Nothing really going on this week. Just wanted to get another episode out so we can continue to do like weekly episodes, getting the feel of hearing my sexy voice and all that. Joking, obviously. Nothing much going on in my world in terms of obviously video games and movies. I did see two good movies this past weekend. We saw Bullet Train and Prey, which came out on Hulu. Bullet Train, directed by David Leitch, the same guy who directed Deadpool 2, John Wick, co-directed John Wick 1, and Atomic Blonde, which I haven't seen, but I'm going to make a my mission to watch that eventually. And he also produced Nobody, which Nobody I thought was pretty good. Not as amazing as everybody said it was, but it was still a good movie. Bullet Train's fantastic. I think it's if you go into the movie and you look at it for what a type of movie it's going to be, like a straight up action film that doesn't take itself too seriously. I think you'll walk out and you'll really appreciate the movie much more. Great all star cast, like S tier in terms of casting with Brad Pitt, Zaza Beetz, Tyree Henry, Aaron Taylor Johnson, Sandra Bullock, Zaza Beetz, Michael Shannon, Zoe King, Andrew Koji, uh, Hiroyuki Sanada. A really just great cast of characters. Of course, all the two cameo people that came up in the movie. Spoiler alert: if you don't want to be spoiled by Bullet Train and cameos, just mute yourself. Excuse me, I'm just started dying here. Mute yourself for the next minute or so. Um, so Bullet Train had cameos from Channing Tatum and Ryan Reynolds, which both kind of makes sense. So if you don't know, if you're not really into movies like that, so Channing Tatum, Brad Pitt, and Sandra Bullock were also in another movie that came out this year called The Lost City, which came out on Paramount Plus. Not Paramount. Is it Paramount Plus or Amazon? I think it was in theaters then. It's on Paramount Plus now. But it came out in theaters, and they're all in that movie together. So I don't know if this was like a kind of a hey, they're in the movie, so let me come and make my guest appearance or something. But Channing makes a nice little cameo in it, and it is pretty funny. Um, I did enjoy that. Um, what else? And then of course the big one, Ryan freaking Reynolds. Sorry, there was a bug, and you just saw me kill a bug on live. Well, not live because it's but I want to do it on camera. Um, Ryan Reynolds makes an appearance, so he is actually the driver who kills the White Death's wife in the movie, and they thinks that Brad Pitt's character, Ladybug, is actually him, but he's not. It was just a little nice little nod that Ryan Reynolds does this, obviously because David Leitch directed Deadpool 2, so it was a nice little tie-in. Again, if you like movies that have comedy, if you like Deadpool 2, if you like Deadpool 1 or 2, I think you'll enjoy this movie a lot. I definitely give like a 9 out of 10. It's probably one of the better movies I've seen in theaters. Obviously, I haven't seen too much, but in this last month, we saw Thor. We saw Thor, Nope, and Bullet Train. I think I left the theater the best after the Bullet Train. I really enjoyed Nope. I think Nope was great. Thor: Love and Thunder was good, just good though. But I felt the best leaving the theater when I left Bullet Train. I was like, wow, that movie was fantastic. It was really fun. And like I said, I was laughing throughout, and the action scenes were really good. I just think overall, generally, it was a great movie. Then we saw Prey Sunday night, and Prey was fantastic. Now, as a fan, like I'm not the biggest Predators fan. I have seen Predator 1, a bit of 2. I haven't seen the AVP movies too much. I haven't seen Predators, but I saw the Predator in 2018, and that's on Prey. There's so many different names of Predator and stuff like that. But I really enjoyed the 2018. I think obviously Predator 1 is fantastic, and I think it's a great movie. The Predator from 2018, which everybody seemed to not like, but I think it was more so because it was so much comedic intake in that movie and not a lot of like horror or suspense or the huntingness of it. But I still thought it was a funny movie. I thought it was really good. But Prey is it's fantastic. Like, just it's crazy how a fresh setting, a fresh scene can make a whole franchise feel different. And they definitely did a great job with Prey, making it seem like something distinct, even though it's still set in the Predator universe and everything. The Predator in this movie was freaking vicious as hell. Like all the kills, all the it was much more gory than I expected it was going to be, and I appreciate that as a fan of horror and a fan of gore. It was fantastic. I loved the main character too. I just love everything about the aesthetic of it, the look. She seemed like such a badass final girl kind of thing. Um, and she just becoming the warrior king at the end. I think was just a really really awesome. Really set the tone for the future of the franchise. It's another movie. I think it's a 9 out of 10. Nothing bad to say about the movie. I thought it was really good. All the allusions to the version of movies like Predator One. If it bleeds, if it bleeds, we can kill it. That was a nice little tag back to Schwarzenegger's line in one. And I had to look this one up, but the pistol that she gives to her tribe at the end of the movie is the same pistol that Danny Glover's character gets at the end of Predator Two for killing his predator. So it's a nice little like Easter egg towards the future of the series as well. I thought that was pretty nice and ingenious, but yeah, both movies are really good. The next movie I think I'm going to see in theaters will probably be The Invitation, the vampire kind of esque movie. It's giving me a lot of Ready or Not vibes, but I think Ready or Not was a fantastic movie as well. So I'm very much looking forward to seeing this in theaters, maybe in theaters or who not. But I mean, I'm looking at. I think you probably after that. I don't think there's anything in September I want to see in theaters. I think I do want to see Smile because I'm a horror fan. But the next movie I think I want to see will be Orphan First Kill next Friday on Paramount Plus. I cannot wait. I'm so looking forward to seeing more Esther and her craziness. Love that little girl or grown. I guess grown woman actually is what more. Grown woman is more appropriate. I'm sorry. Wrestling. As far as wrestling, Triple H is in full swing of like it's definitely his WWE now, and you can just tell because obviously in about 2 or 3 weeks since he's taken over, we had Dakota Kai come back. We had Io Sky, Io Shirai turn Io Sky is on main TV. Bailey's back on TV. Friday night on SmackDown, here comes Karrion Kross and Scarlett Bordeaux. Like out of nowhere, it literally the same day that they were reporting, hey, there's feelings for Karrion Kross. He debuted on SmackDown, setting up. He's going to be a main event player already. And then tonight on Raw, Dexter Lumis just shows up. So he is bringing back a lot of his NXT people, and I still feel like there are still some out there that I would like to come back, but it just proves to me that if Keith Lee and Swerve were not signed to AEW, Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, they will all be coming into Triple H's WWE. There's still a few out there. He's got 3 in Loomis, Cross, and Kai. But my big one, the big NXT person who's not under contract, who's still out there, is Johnny Gargano. And obviously, I know that still being a father, he's been. She gave birth back in January, February, I think. So it's still relatively new, still relatively trying to find out all those little things, but eventually I'm sure he'll get the itch to come back, and now talking about it more, and now, there is a chance that we can get a The Way reunion eventually. Loomis is on Raw, Austin Theory is on Raw, or Theory, I think who missed another show. I don't know if they just like kind of put him on the back burner for a little bit, to let people forget about he's Mr. Money in the Bank and do a shot cash in eventually, or if it's because, like I said, his uncle did pass away recently, and they maybe just not trying to focus on him right now. So, I don't know what's going to happen, but Johnny Gargano comes back. You have Ciampa on Raw, who Ciampa looked fantastic in defeat against Bobby Lashley. It was a really good match, a really good sequence at the end. Looks like he could really take the U.S. title from Lashley. That's the strongest Ciampa has looked. This probably is as strong as his WWE career and his main wrestler career. It's definitely the strongest somebody has looked a challenger in a mid-card title match in a very, very long time. And I can only hope that we get a really good Intercontinental title match this Friday on SmackDown between Nakamura and Gunther. I really thought they were going to hold that match off until the United Kingdom show, which I guess they can probably do a rematch or probably even do like a DQ here and then set it up, because I feel like Gunther is one of your big stars. You have to have him on the card for Clash of the Castle. Actually, you know what? Maybe Sheamus will. I think maybe Sheamus will be his opponent. Maybe they'll just do something like somehow. I think Sheamus versus Gunther has all the potential to be match of the year if they just give it a time in the UK. Like it would be the best match they've ever put on. If you put that match on first in front of that crowd with that energy, with those two guys being from the United Kingdom, neither of them are Welsh, but they will take them to their own. And with these guys slapping the hell out of each other, hurting each other, big meaty men slapping meat, people would absolutely love it, and I think it would probably be one of the best ways you can start off the show. Maybe we'll see what happens. I don't again. I think Sheamus will be a part of the show as well. Finn Balor will be part of the show. Anybody who's big in the UK definitely will get a spot on that show. So I guess we'll see what happens in a few. And I do think they are setting up for a Beth Phoenix return because Rhea Ripley keeps hurting some people, but you can't hit the woman, so why not bring out Beth? I do think Edge and Beth versus Finn and Rhea will be good for the UK show as well. They announced that Bianca is teaming with Alexa and Asuka to face Bailey, Io, and Dakota Kai at Clash at the Castle. They also started the tag team title tournament tonight, which shocked me in a sense. So on one half of the bracket, you got Kai and Sky. That would be their name. Tamina and Dana, which makes sense because they were chasing each other. So I'm not mad at that tag team. Asuka and Alexa are obviously just together because I really think that Asuka was going to be teaming with Becky, but Becky got injured, so they're together facing Nikki and Doudrop. Nikki and Doudrop have been teaming, so the left side of the bracket is fine because all those tag teams make sense. Io and Kai gets got together, so that makes sense. Dana and Tamina, they have not been a tag team, but there hasn't really been a tag team division, but they have been together. A storyline makes sense. Asuka and Alexa again because Alexa probably was replacing Becky. It was probably supposed to be Becky and Asuka, which would have been a much more formal tag team, but that makes sense. Nikki and Doudrop, though dropped from Raw, they make sense. Now when you get to the right side of the bracket, that's when it looks a little strange. But again, when you have no tag teams really to establish, you're just going to put a whole bunch of random teams together anyway. So the right side of the bracket, the top match is Aaliyah and and Raquel Gonzalez versus Shotzi and Xia Li. Shotzi and Xia Li might be the sleepers on this side. I really thought Asuka and Alexa were going to be on one side of the bracket and they were going to meet up in the middle, but the semifinals is going to be Io and Kai versus Alexa and Asuka. So who's going to be the final team? Xia and Shotzi together? I don't know. Could be something interesting. I'm not going to say they'll win, but it could be something interesting. Raquel and Aaliyah, though, is the babyface team. I think they may make it to the finals, but wait a second. Let's take the bottom half. You got Sonya and Natalya. Makes sense a little bit. If Shayna was not in a title match, Shayna and Sonya would be a great team together. They messed up on that. But we got a team from NXT because of course we do. It's Nikita Lyons and Zoe Stark together. I mean, I'm very shocked in the pairing because they couldn't. Again, you have Toxic Attraction. You had Yulisa and Valentina in NXT. You had Tatum Paxley. Is that her name? Tatum Presley? Whatever her name is. And Ivy Nile, you had them. So why not use an actual established team? And of course, why not use... why are you using Zoe Stark when she could potentially win the NXT Women's Championship? So it's like you have to have a face team in the finals because I honestly think this whole tournament was set up for Io and Kai to win the titles, right? It was all set up for that particular reason. So who's going to be the team they face? Got to be a face team. So forget Shotzi and what's her name are out. No one WWE and no one NXT. I think it will be no one Triple H. It will probably be Kai and Sky versus Lyons and Stark. And that makes a lot of sense because Io and Stark have history as former NXT Women's Tag Team Champions. So that might be good. That might be interesting to see coming up. But obviously the Women's Tag Team Tournament was set just for that. I think everybody has said... Did it stop recording? I think this thing stopped recording. My computer just started going crazy, so I'll have to figure out how to extract audio from the video because that just messed up. Whatever. I think I was talking about the Women's Tag Team Tournament. Io and Sky are going to win. Io and Kai, are going to win. And then, of course, I think everybody is fantasy booking that once they win, Sasha and Naomi will come out, and you have a we're the real champions type of situation, and then have a big match. I think that's the way to go. Where you put over, you kind of you still have Sasha and Naomi back in wrestling, but you put over the newer team. That's probably what will happen. So okay, enough wrestling. Two more things to talk about. I'm gonna probably keep it short because again I have to figure out how to extract this now, the audio from the video, whatever. Um, hmm. Xenoblade Chronicles 3. So I think the last time we talked about, I think I was 7 hours in because I got it on that Friday. I played it Friday. I probably played most of it Saturday. Um, and now, of course, the computer comes back up like, oh, we're okay now. Hold on. All right, so I'm back on audio. I'm back on video. Things are going crazy over here. For the audio listener, you missed out on me just saying that I think Io and Kai are going to be confronted by the former tag team champions, that being Sasha and Naomi, and they'll have a unification match. That's all you missed. We're going to Xenoblade Chronicles 3 now. Again, got it when it came out on, what day did it come out, y'all? July 30th, July 29th. I played it all that Saturday, which is SummerSlam Saturday. Not all of it. I played most of it Friday night. Um, and then I went pretty heavy on my off day on Tuesday, and I got really addicted. I'm 24 hours in right now, currently at the 24-hour mark, and I'm at the point now where you can start doing like some of the quests in the other colonies and getting those heroes um, to get those classes, which I should have known that was going to happen because I think by this point, before we got the first hero, which was Ethel, Silver Crow Ethel, and it got in defensor class, which is amazing, by the way. I'm a big fan of in this game, I'm more of an attacker than a defender, so getting that class was really awesome. And then yeah, my computer's really messing up. I gotta finish this episode quick, but getting that class, I should have known because again, before we got to that class, it was about I had like for Noah, I think I had like three and a half of the six classes mastered. So knowing that there's more classes out there gives me much more hope, and then it also means that I know that the six main classes, I think for all the classes you can get more levels eventually with time goes on. So that makes me more excited to know that I'll have to go back to those old classes because again the fencer one is really awesome so far. I only have about two. I only have three. I think I have three. I have the fencer, the crazy mage one. I don't know how to say it, and then I have the guardian one, the new guardian one that was like a sword and guardian that Noah got. So I'm going to start upgrading those next and go from there. But yeah, I haven't really done much of the main story. I think I'm at the point. I'm on chapter 3. I think we just beat the first council member, and you learn how to do the Ouroboros and everything. And then I just got sucked away and just exploring and doing side quests and things like that. And it's just such an open, crazy world that I haven't even done the main story any much more of the main story. But I'm gonna get back on that next time I play it. I still got 2 more weeks before Saints Row comes out, and then of course September. They announced today that Marvel Midnight Suns got pushed back. It's still coming out before end of fiscal year 2023, but that can mean they push it back to like January, which would be great. January. Well, actually no, not January, because January has Forspoken and Forspoken's on January right now. I think so. I will look it up when my computer's messed up. I know Dead Space is coming out the end of January, so maybe February would be the move for Midnight Suns, or mid December. A lot of games don't come out after December 2nd. I guess because of holidays, whatever. But like, hey, they'll probably release it like in January. Um, but yeah, man, Xenoblade Chronicles 3 is fantastic. Again, it's my game of the year. I'm very cliche when it comes to video games of the year. It's always like a Japanese role playing game or like whatever the big game of the year is. Like for me, Last of Us 2 was game of the year of 2020. Last year, I don't remember what I said was game of the year, and I'm blanking, but I know it wasn't as big of a year. Obviously, nothing's going to be as big of a year as 2020 for a very long time. I'm trying to think of something I really like. I would probably say I think I said Yeast 9 was my favorite game of last year. And this year, right now, is Xenoblade Chronicles 3. And again, this is coming from a person who did not really play Elden Ring like that. And I'm really disappointed in myself. I'm disappointed in myself every day that I remind myself that I've not played it. Um, but Xenoblade Chronicles 3 scratches the itch of a massive Japanese role-playing game. It has not given me the feeling of that for a JRPG since Persona 5, and that has been 5 years. So Persona 5 and Xenoblade Chronicles 2 came out the same year. No, Persona 5 was way above Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Now, but was it 2? Was it above Xenoblade Chronicles 3? It is. Persona 5 is amazing. But this is still a really fantastic. This is like a 10 out of 10 for me. This is probably the best Switch RPG of all time. I played Octopath. I played Project Triangle. Haven't really got too much into them, but I played them, but I really think this is the epitome of one, the melding of one and the melding of two, into such a way. And I was so nervous before I played three that it was going to be too slow, or was going to be like just not as good as one. Because Xenoblade Chronicles wants the bar so high. I still think Xenoblade Chronicles One. I said it last week. I'll say it again. I still think it's probably one of the best Japanese role playing games to come out in the 2010s. It's probably that and Persona 5, and Dragon Quest 11. Like those are my three favorite from that era. There's always some other good ones in there as well. Like Ni no Kuni 1 was really fantastic, but like in terms Tales of Shilia, I was gonna say Vesperia. Vesperia came out in 08, so. But yeah, those are probably my three favorite in that generation. They probably should do like a Japanese role playing episode, like a single. I know we did one on the Fat Man Around podcast a few years ago, a year and a half ago, almost 2 years ago now, December. But I think we should do a actual updated version with me just talking about Japanese role playing games. That may be the move one day in the future. So be on the lookout for that. Man, but I really like this game. It's nothing bad to say about it. 25 hours. I'm kind of behind on mark. I work all week and I got plans on the weekend, so I don't know if I'll be able to get another like 17-hour gaming weekend with that, but I'm gonna try. Then I'm gonna try. I'm gonna have to be up late nights, I guess, to get some of his hours in. But I don't. I still not even really trying to surface. I don't know how many chapters there are, but I'm getting to the point. I think I'm on like level 33. There's a few areas I can't get to. I can go into, but I can't really explore because the enemies are like level 40, 43, 44. So like I said, I'll go to the main story. I'll go through until I can get to the next area where I can explore and look. Because I'm just going on the map by anytime I see a question mark. And I know a question mark can go to a quest. A quest can lead to a colony. A colony can lead to a new class. And I'm all about the new classes because, again, you got to keep it rotating. I'm trying to make sure everybody is a master of something else. So when I can form a party I really want, I want to get to the point where everybody in my party, all 6 members, are another class that's not the main class. It's not a sword fighter. It's not the medic gunner or tactician or ogre or whatever. Zephyr, I'm missing one. The heavy guard. I want that to be like, hey, he's a fencer, archer, he's a guardian. Like I want it all to be so mixed up. I don't want it all to be the basic classes. That's what I really want to get to in Xenoblade. But highly, highly recommend it if you are a JRPG fan. It's again, the campaign is so long. It's gonna be long. I'm already 25 hours in this game, and I promise you, Chapter 3. There's so many side quests. There's so many ways you can go. There's so much backtracking because some places are locked off to you for the time being because enemies are so much higher level. I've already gotten to 3 places already where the enemies are like in their 40s, and I cannot go that way just yet because they're such a high level. And I just can't wait to get further and further to do more against them. Last thing I want to talk about today, it was just announced today that a big box office battle will be happening in 2024. So mark your calendars, it's 2 years away. Are you ready for this? December 20th, 2024. Avatar 3 was already announced to come out on that date. Avatar 2, of course, coming out this year on December 19th. December 19th? December something. 2022. Already been announced. But now we have Sonic 3 coming out December 20th, 2024. The Battle of the Blue People coming together all in one night. Let's effing go, y'all. Are you kidding me? Are you ready for this? Sonic 3, Avatar 3. Who is going to win? It's probably going to be Avatar. But I'm happy that Paramount and Sonic said, we're going to put you up against James Cameron. They fighting back. They going to lose. But I want to see this battle. But don't deny them kids who want to see Sonic 3 and the nostalgic 90s nerds. Could be something really big to look forward to in the year of 2024. I thought that's just fun, a little something to add to end on. But that's going to be a fun battle. Box office battle. Aquaman 2, said, no, we're not doing it. We'll give you Shazam. And Shazam even moved. So, is Sonic going to stay as the same date? We'll have to find out in 2024. Thanks for listening to another episode of the podcast or watching. We're on all podcast channels. We're on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Pandora, Deezer, Overcast. Anywhere you get your podcast, FatmanStephens is all one word, space, podcast. Also on YouTube, watching the YouTube video. Hello. Like, share, subscribe, and comment on all these videos. Tell me what you think about Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Tell me what you think about Triple H's WWE. Tell me what you think about Bullet Train. That's what all the things we talked about this episode. Okay? I'll see you again next week for another episode, and hopefully, after I update my computer to Windows 11, there should be no more issues with my computer. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you again next week for another episode of the podcast. Goodbye, good night. Mwah. Love y'all.